It's fine if you want to skip leg day. Yes, I said it. Yes, get up from your chair, start clapping. This is the video you leg skippers have been waiting for all this time. Dr. Pack here, straight out of the Doctors Without Borders office, aka Milo's office, who's also a doctor, a real one. Borders, Schmorders, 2024, we out here, gang. A bit clickbaity, or quite a bit clickbaity, I know, but hey ho, man's gotta eat, we gotta play the game, you know the dealio, Emilio. So, the past year, plus the past couple of years, I've been training my legs with relatively low volumes. Now for the past year, those volumes have been extremely low. 1 to 3 sets of squats and deadlifts for my quads and hamstrings respectively, usually in the form of singles or triples with the odd 5-rep set here and there, and I've had like a few months where I also did Romanian deadlifts. Why, you may ask? Because I simply don't want to train legs. And that's really the point of this message. If you do not want to train your legs or any other body part, you're fine to not train them. It's totally fine. You're not going to miss out on the health benefits of resistance exercise, and you are not going to be less of a lifter. I mean, in certain circles, you will be. And in my opinion, if you are not blessed with solid leg genetics and you're essentially looking like a flamingo, it's probably wise to do something for your legs to get them up to speed. But these are my aesthetic standards, and in reality, you shouldn't care what some random fatso on YouTube thinks about you. So if leg training is not something that you have fun with, and you don't look forward to leg day, and you're not a bodybuilder, modifying it or doing just the bare minimum to get some gains and keep your legs at a solid size or maintain leg strength just for the sake of maintaining leg strength is totally fine. You could completely skip training your legs, but obviously that may then result in other muscle groups not being trained whatsoever, including your glutes, including your erectors, and ideally you'd want to have some stimulus for those muscle groups for a more complete development of your physique and strength. Again, do I think that the average person who is engaging in resistance training, let's exclude any sort of compound or isolation work for their legs, and they're doing a bunch of upper body resistance training multiple times per week, and they're physically active, do I think that that person is going to notice that they're not training their legs massively in their everyday life? Do I think that they will be less healthy and less functional? No. Could they look a bit funny when they're wearing shorts if they have an extremely developed upper body? Sure, but then that's up to them to decide whether they want to go with that look or not. Overall though, the message here is to not just skip what is hard simply because it's hard, but see what aligns with your overall goals and do what fits within your goals. If you're somebody who hates leg training, I would personally recommend to not skip leg training altogether, to find 2 to 4 exercises in total, so 2 for quads, 2 for hamstrings, that you can perform with a minimum effective training dose sort of approach, where you do a couple of sets of each exercise per week at a very close proximity to failure. Quickly bang those out, whichever exercise you like, and make sure that if all those exercises are isolation exercises or exercises that don't massively involve your glutes and erectors, to throw in some form of direct erector and glute training. That you could do some hyperextensions, you could do some GHR, you could literally do whatever you feel is appropriate and what you enjoy doing. If you want to have the juiciest quads, glutes, erectors, adductors, hamstrings, calves of all times, go ahead, smash your legs. If you're like me, and I am a bit of an exception, and you're somebody who has been putting in the work for years, and now you're just like, okay, that's enough of, I've had enough of grueling squat sessions, I'm just gonna do some heavy squats every week to maintain my strength. You could do that as well. As I mentioned, I personally love deadlifting, and I have been deadlifting progressively for the past 5 years or so. So although I train with very little volumes for my hamstrings, my deadlift 1RM is relatively solid and it's still going up, and my hamstrings do get a couple of heavy, close to failure sets of deadlifts per week, albeit at lower reps. And because I love deadlifts and my quad exercise of choice is squats, my erectors and glutes also get some form of stimulus, at least enough stimulus to be there, to be strong, to be healthy. But if you're the third archetype and you absolutely hate any sort of leg training and you don't care about how your physique looks, and you don't care about whether you look somewhat disproportional, it's totally fine to skip them. You don't need to feel any guilt. You don't need to make up excuses to skip leg day. You don't need to say, oh, my knees, when I was young, I was playing football and something, or the usual, or I had surgery. Even if you had surgery, it's an excuse. Vlad Alhazov came back from tearing both of his knees and squatted 520 kilos. You're gonna be fine. You can still do a plethora of exercise with low loads. Now I'm hating on you for skipping legs. No, I'm hating on you for lying and just being an archetype of, oh, I skipped legs, but I'm pretending like I wanted to do legs. Just own it. Just be out there and be like, yo, bro, if I don't fucking want to do legs, I'm not doing legs. I'm not gonna fucking train my legs. Go fuck yourself. Okay, and then proceed to list other things that you do outside of the gym that these other people don't do. Get in a fight, stop being friends, be sad, be upset, get fat, quit the gym, then end up having to return to the gym and training legs because now you've completely atrophied ever, and that's how you trick yourself into training legs. But I digress, and we're at this part of the video where I'm completely losing it, and I'm ready to tell you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the wall in celebration to the ending of this video because you couldn't wait for it to end. Psych, you loved it. Leave a comment below. Send me money, send me love, hug me if you see me on the road, but please throw a disclaimer before you hug me because I may get overly horny all of a sudden and we do not want a lawsuit. Just kidding, this was a joke. Do not sue me. I will not touch you unless I have your consent and a written form specifically going over the ways that I'm allowed to touch you, and even then I will ask for more consent and video evidence and another consent and another form. 2024, uncancelable. Go yourselves. Peace.